I wanted to read a couple thoughts here at the YouTube chat. You can also interact with us at the Vancouver Ford text line. I got one there as well, 503-864-6326. I love watching people who cover this team who are passionate fans slowly morph into my way of thinking. That's why I wanted to get Gundy on today, because I read his tweet on Friday, and I'm like, dude, welcome into the pool, buddy. It's nice and warm in here. I've been here since this summer. They should have traded these guys. I don't care if you get there when I get there, if you get there 6 months after I get there. At least we're in similar thinking. A thought that came in on the YouTube chat was, I want the high picks and all, but we're starting to gel. And I just read stuff like that. Look, I'm not going to tell anybody how you want to fan. You can fan however you want.
We're starting to gel with what?
And that's what I'm like, what are you gelling towards? You're going nowhere. You're once again the champions of purgatory. You're not going to be in the play-in. You're not bad enough. You're playing vets. You're not developing your young guys. Like, gelling towards what? A lot of these guys are not going to be pieces of your future in which you hope to get back to relevance in the NBA. And yet here we are with fans still looking at it and saying, hey, at least we're starting to gel. Another one said in my head, I know it's better for the Blazers to lose, but when I turn it on, I can't help but root for them to win games. Yeah. And that's a very natural thing from fandom. I don't personally have that problem, but I know a lot of people struggle with rooting against their team to win games for draft positioning. But I do think a lot of people are starting to wake up to some of the way Gundy is thinking, that I've been arguing, that a lot of people have been, of just like, what are we doing here? We're going nowhere. And this seems like a crossroad, I would hope, for most fans.
I guess we revisit this after the deadline, unless something like happens, Scoot goes for 50 or something, because I don't know. This isn't going to be different. We'll see if they beat Milwaukee again. They seem to have the Bucks number with Dame being there. It's going to be a big deal tomorrow to some that Dame is returning again. Then you get Orlando in your building. You just mopped the floor with them. I don't know if they're going to shoot as badly as they did. Then you get back-to-back against a desperate Phoenix team who's dealing with a Yusuf Nurkic problem. So We'll see where this, they're starting to gel take ends up being in the next 4. What I would say is, let's say it's the deadline and they keep 4 of the 5 players you listed to Gundy. Ant, Grant. I think Rob could get traded, but let's say he's Ayton. What is the take going to be on the whole they're gelling when those guys start sitting and they're tanking?
Because they're going to fake. If they don't trade them, they're going to start faking injuries at some point.
So I guess that's to your point, where this is. Are they gelling, or are they just winning games against Chicago, who's 2 games better than them? Miami, meh. The Orlando win was good, I'll give you that, and Charlotte's dog crap. My overall take is media fan doesn't matter. If Portland was not on the jersey and it said Detroit, Charlotte, Brooklyn, Washington, you'd be looking at it going, what are they doing?
What the hell is the goal
You
there?
wouldn't be looking at it going, well, actually, Ant makes a lot of sense to play with this rotation. And actually, Tumani's great. He's, so far, probably the best thing you got from the Dame trade. You can throw Denny in that and tell me Denny's amazing, and I like Denny as a piece, preferably as a 6th man. But you're telling me we have the Wizards' best player from last year. How were the Wizards?
They were very bad at basketball.
So,
and a team who realized how good this draft is and said, why don't we get a little bit worse and make sure we have the best chance possible to go draft Cooper Flagg?
So I guess I'm just responding to the whole their gelling thing. What is the take when they sit these guys and lose?
Yep.
Is that still they gelled. They'll carry it over from next year. Oh, okay.
They gelled at the start of the year, and then they had to send them in the second half of the year. So you're doing the same thing where you keep vets around, you win too many games in the first half of the year, and then in the last 2 months you're going to play a G League roster because you can't trade any of your guys.
Team kind of shows you who they are. You need to listen. Their 7th and 3rd pick are coming off of the bench. And I know
one in his 3rd year in the NBA.
Yeah. Well, he's not playing good enough defense, Dirt. He needs to learn his lesson.
Can't help it, man. Somebody texted in one of our P1s. What I don't understand is why everyone keeps saying that if we it doesn't matter if we fire Chauncey Billups or not, as he won't be here next year anyways, not realizing we want to further evaluate the current players, mainly the younger ones, and how they respond to a different voice regardless. If it's just for 2 or 3 months or not, even if you bring in Nate and let him take over, at least he isn't somebody that has no loyalties to the vets on the team, and he's going to do what's best for the team, which is to play the young guys and sprinkle in the vets with them, but not all together.
Optimistic take. Tumani, good. Scoot, gotten somewhat better, even though I don't like that he's on the bench. And Denny's a good 6th man. Everything else is just, I don't know.
You turned down a first-round pick this summer to trade Jeremy Grant because you thought you were going to get 2 first-round picks for him.
Maybe they will.
Is anybody going to trade you a first-round pick for Jeremy Grant at the deadline?
I mean, right now it doesn't feel like
the Lakers were the team that were involved. They went and got another guy that they didn't have to trade 2 first-round picks to go get. They wanted to acquire Jeremy Grant this summer, and we said, no, that's not enough.
Can you jump into the Jimmy stuff and get anything?
Probably not. I don't want to get anything. I want to get rid of things.
Well, I mean, like
I'm selling off
stuff.
my assets.
Yeah, you give her all. Yeah,
fine. Give me a second. I don't care. Give me a third-round pick. It doesn't even exist. I'll take a third-round pick for half these guys at this point.
Well, you're in a good mood today.
I am in a good mood. The Blazers are incompetent, and I get to watch Trump versus Biden round 3 in the Super Bowl. This is fantastic. I did read this. This one's pretty funny, and I got look. Kind of wins the day. Sometimes you got to be able to chuckle at your own misery. That helps you to get through things in life. And a commenter on the YouTube chat said, honestly, for the good of the league, maybe we shouldn't get Cooper Flagg. He'll just come off the bench in favoring of starting Jeremy Grant.
We tend not to get nice things here, and imagine getting Cooper and Chauncey comes back because they picked the extension.
We can't start this guy, dude. He can't play more than 15 minutes a night. Wait, what? Why, though? He did more at college. Why? That doesn't make any sense. Nah, he's got to get his legs underneath him. But he played like 28 minutes a night at Duke. That doesn't make any sense.
He's got to get his defensive
Got to get his defense
fundamental.
Yeah. So what about Anthony Simons playing defense? Oh, he doesn't need to ever play defense. What about DeAndre Ayton standing in the paint, watching guys grab rebounds and run around him the entire game?
Yeah.
Nope, that doesn't matter at all.
Those are the examples we want Cooper Flagg to sit on the bench and see the turnstile out there.
We're going to end up with the 8th pick and draft that kid out of BYU, Denham.
They're so incompetent. It is unbelievable.
We got ourselves an Igor. Igor Denham's coming in.
Give me an Igor. That's how you get me back in as a fan. I hope Jeremy, Anthony Simons, DeAndre Ayton, and Robert Williams are all on the team on opening night next year, too. Think about that lineup. Ooh, buddy, here we come.
If you could take your fandom much like a sweater or something and just remove it for a second, ask yourself this. If you did rig a draft and you're the NBA, where would Portland rank on places you'd want Cooper Flagg to play? Because I don't know if we'd be the top 5.
So if you're going like realistic chances, so basically what,
like
the
10
teams
worst
that
are going to be in the lottery.
Like if I'm the NBA, I would rather have Cooper Flagg.
Brooklyn would be number 1.
Brooklyn.
I would put Toronto probably number 2. Major media market. Toronto would be. I think there's something there. Him with Scotty Barnes.
I'd put Charlotte in this because LaMelo
Charlotte
is
with
one
LaMelo,
of the more famous players in the league.
In 3rd, I think they'd probably tell you the Wizards are ahead of us too. It's a nation's capital. They love the East Coast. They have an East Coast bias anyway.
And then Chicago.
Chicago definitely higher on that list than us. It's like between us and Utah.
Oh, God.
Or New Orleans. They've seen how bad the Zion thing's gone. Do you want them eating all that bad food?
They don't want them.
So which white city do they want the most? Salt Lake or Portland?
Portland would be over New Orleans.
You think so?
Probably over Utah.
I think over Utah.
Over Salt Lake City. What puts us over Salt Lake City, just out of curiosity?
Our logo's better. Ours makes sense. They're the Jazz from Utah.
I mean, that doesn't make any sense, but, you know.
Well, him and Zion are kind of the same position in some sense.
I mean, I'll grant you New Orleans. New Orleans is an irrelevant NBA market.
I think us over Utah.
I don't know if I'm giving us the benefit of the doubt over Utah.
You think Utah a little more whiter? Let's send the white guy to the white city.
Yeah, I think so.
See, they'll send an all-star game to Utah, so
that's true.
They won't send. So.
That's true.
I rest
they
my
let
case.
Portland have Cooper Flagg.
I rest my case.
We're gonna get nice things.
It's gonna happen at some point. Don't worry. We got
best odds. We're gonna win.
I think we're gonna trade Jeremy Grant for 3 first-round picks this offseason. Keep holding on to him. That value's going up right now. It's gonna keep going up.
I'm aiming to get Bobby Marks on for Wednesday's program, so we'll see what Bobby Marks thinks about Jeremy Grant, Anthony Simons, and just trading in general.
I'm curious the value. What is the current value of potential Blazers to be traded?
Well, max player value right now, not good in the league. And guess what we gave Jeremy Grant?
We gave him a max contract. We gave him a max contract.
By the way, bad take by Brandon Sprague. I said, yeah, okay, I can understand it.
Hopefully there's another amnesty clause in the new CBA whenever they get it done.
I mean, DeAndre Ayton would be candidate number. You have 3 different amnesty cases that you would probably want to use, but DeAndre Ayton would be the first one to get it.
Ooh.
Nobody's
tradable.
I think Jeremy Grant has to be more tradable, right?
Who would you rather amnesty just to say, yeah, we amnesty?
Ayton, you need to get Ayton off the roster.
Immediately.
If I bring Jeremy Grant,
can we get another
off the
ice
bench,
storm so his ass can just stay home, play video games? Can we please get a week of ice so we don't have to deal with watching him play an NBA game for a while?
You know, when we draft our Patrick Mahomes,
things will all turn around.
It's all going to turn around. People are going to hate us because they ain't us.
That's right.
Tumani, Cooper Flagg, Scoot as our 7th man, Shaden our 8th man.
Here we go.
Come on now.
Well, if you feel bad, at least your team didn't hire Brian Schottenheimer to be their head coach because the Cowboys did that on Friday night.